so much for being here. I'm Ann Havard in the Mayor's office. I know we have given you information about today's presentation in advance, so we're ready to hear your presentation. If we have time for questions at the end, we'll do that.
So I just have basically high-level speaking notes, but we've been a partner of the Mayor's office for some time now, which we're very grateful for. Over the last 8 years, we've screened 6,500 ideas. We've helped entrepreneurs launch over 550 companies, have helped entrepreneurs raise over $120 million in investment capital, and had entrepreneurs exit over $100 million in value for the companies that they started. For us, the entrepreneurs, the greatest measurement of success is they've generated almost 1,000 jobs. And so for the EC specifically, that fulfills our mission, which is to connect entrepreneurs to the resources needed to create, launch, and grow a business. Less than 2% of entrepreneurs will ever cross $1 million in revenue. And so the probability of failure is significantly high for an entrepreneur. And so our objective is to bend the curve of probability to increase their chance for success. So basically, our vision is to make Nashville the best place in America to start a business. When the EC was founded, we weren't rated on any list. Nashville is currently number 4 in the U.S. for places for growth entrepreneurs. And our objective is to get to number 1. For us, the way that we do that is we have an entire suite of services that we offer entrepreneurs that meets them at any life cycle stage that they're in, whatever their stage is, whatever their industry is, wherever they are in their growth. From I'm thinking about an idea that I want to start, to I've started something and oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing or I need help, to I'm growing and I want to make sure that I'm able to sustain that growth successfully. Our objective is to meet an entrepreneur where they are. And we do that through a suite of programs, starting with a program called Pre-Flight, which is for those that are thinking about launching the business, a new program called In-Flight for founders that are committed, have launched, are at around $100,000 in revenue and looking to scale. And then we have 2 programs that are immersed in our 2 core industries in Nashville, our Project Healthcare and Project Music programs. And then in terms of everybody, we have an advisor program and membership at our facility, and all of our programming is designed to really help the high growth businesses be successful, to create so we can organically grow the big businesses of the future here in Nashville. But then in addition to that, we recognize our responsibility as the front door to the ecosystem, and in the last 8 years we've gone from no resources in the city of Nashville to over 250 resources for entrepreneurs across 15 different categories. And those resources don't know of each other, and the entrepreneurs certainly don't know about all those resources. And so our objective, we have a program called Navigation that we launched last year in partnership with the Mayor's Office and the Kauffman Foundation. The objective of that program is to take any entrepreneur that walks through our door, no matter what, and connect them to the right resource. And so we started this program last year. We've seen over 200 entrepreneurs be navigated to a resource in the ecosystem. Our objective this year is to navigate close to 1,000. And really, when we make an investment in this program, we're making an investment in the entire city of Nashville, because one of the challenges that happens is you have organizations like Conexión Americas or National Business Incubation Center, Pathway Women's Business Center, all there to help entrepreneurs. And when an entrepreneur walks through the door, they try to help them, but a lot of times they are forced to operate outside of their area of excellence. We've experienced this as well. And so what that means is the community that makes investments in all these organizations, that investment isn't maximized because they're stretching their suite of services. So our goal is to make it so that we understand what each of these resources do, so that in one referral, an entrepreneur gets the right one that maximizes the potential for their success, it maximizes the investment in those organizations, and it maximizes the ability for Nashville to be known as the most accessible place, where an entrepreneur isn't going to experience what we call death by 1,000 coffees, where they're going to meet with one person, and then give up or go on the sidelines. So those are the programs that we offer. And I'm going to stop in a second. I promise I will take a breath at some point. But I'm too excited about this. So, because I was one of the first, Talia knows, but I don't know if you guys know, I was one of the first entrepreneurs the Entrepreneur Center helped. I'm an outsider to the city of Nashville. I had no experience in my industry. I'd never been an entrepreneur before. I'm a recovering drug addict with no college degree. I was by every definition an outsider that should not have been successful. And it's because I walked through the door of the Entrepreneur Center that I was able to get access to resources I did not have access to. And you know, in the entrepreneurship game, there's a lot of focus around a lot of different things, and capital becomes a huge focus, which is an important part of the equation. But research has shown there's only one variable that is the dramatic difference maker for an entrepreneur. Like 97% of businesses don't raise venture capital. One factor, and that's access to intellectual capital, mentorship. Intellectual capital pools in specific areas within a community, and it isn't democratized and made accessible to all. That's what the EC does. We have over 270 volunteer advisors. We have relationships with all different organizations serving entrepreneurs, and the objective is a kid that knows nothing about what he's doing can walk in, like me, and or like anyone. They can walk in there and they can get educated, they can get connected to the right resources, and so essentially it's the 5 C's. So the first one is connections. So like I just said, so connections to resources in the community through navigation program, connections to potential corporate clients if we see a fit. The next is community. So entrepreneurship's a lonely path, and actually having peer support can be a huge accelerator of their success. So being able to surround entrepreneurs to find their community so they're able to find others on the path and learn together. The next is curriculum, using we've had 8 years pioneering curriculum on how to build a business so that entrepreneurs don't make the mistakes that many do so that they can increase their probability of success. Access to capital, so understanding capital, understanding what their choices are from debt financing to equity financing, and then being able to be connected to potentially the right resources, and then coaching the advisors in our community that are actually mentoring the entrepreneurs, and then they also are able to kind of help navigate the ecosystem as well through their own personal networks. And so all these programs that I mentioned leverage those 5 C's. And let's see, what else? The investment that you guys have made in us have made what we are doing possible, and your continued investment is essential. And it will go to, number one, helping entrepreneurs realize their dreams, transform their circumstances, change the environment around them, contribute to their community. But it's also an investment in the broader thriving prosperity of the city of Nashville by helping us better serve all of the resources that serve the entire community altogether. We think that we are the longest term investment in the economic prosperity of this region because the businesses that are born are the businesses that grow that are the ones that deliver the most value to the community or have the greatest impact on a community. We both know it could be positive, negative, and it's varied, but have the greatest impact. And we have seen companies get built in Nashville, but we want to see a lot more. So, speaking to the impact, I'm going to go straight to the third question, the impact of our work and concrete outcomes for a more equitable Nashville. So when I came to the EC, I was like, my grandfather was an immigrant that came in on the boat, and he dropped out of school in 8th grade, and he started a business, and it changed our entire family tree and changed my circumstances, which I am so grateful for. So we want to democratize access to the American dream. That's our objective. And the way that we do that, so we have diversity and inclusion programs for our high growth programming, where we make it more accessible for folks from underrepresented communities that may not have natural access to the same level of resources to be able to access our high growth programming. But in addition to that, the navigation program that we have built, our objective is to navigate 10,000 entrepreneurs to a resource that is in the city of Nashville, leveraging our 200 plus partners that will be in the city of Nashville. And we believe if this aligns very well with equalizing access in terms of the metro focus, because a lot of times, a lot of people don't have access to the intellectual capital or the right investors or the right customers or the right mentors. And like I said, having a platform that's not only doing that for high growth businesses, but is doing that in concert with the organizations that are focused in a lot of different areas. So for example, Conexión Americas has a culinary incubator, okay, and I use this example all the time. Tali's already heard me say this. But they have a culinary incubator, and so somebody walks into the Entrepreneur Center, and they're like, I want to start a restaurant, and I want to start with a food truck. We don't have a commercial kitchen. We would have tried to serve them in the past. Now, Conexión Americas is a partner. We refer them to Conexión Americas, where they are able to launch a food truck or a restaurant. But because of this, Conexión Americas, at some point, they're limited in their ability to serve that entrepreneur. That entrepreneur is like, I need more help with financial acumen once I cross $1 million in revenue, and I need access to debt financing. We then connect them to the Nashville Business Incubation Center that incubated the Grilled Cheesery, right? That help them grow into an actual brick and mortar restaurant, and Pathway Women's Business Center that's going to help them be able to identify capital. We take the burden of people finding the right resources. We create what all businesses typically try to do, and that is create a market efficiency. And we're able to serve that entrepreneur through the continuum, and that entrepreneur never actually used the high growth programming. But then let's say they want to franchise those grilled cheeseries and go from 1 franchise to 1,000. Now you have different scaling things that you have to consider, and our curriculum comes in, our advisor comes in, and now they can participate in one of our programs. It's all about meeting the entrepreneur where they are in their journey, and historically our ecosystem has been fragmented, and we're really focusing on being able to take the investments, the collective investments, not just the investments from this body, but the investments from this community, and making them more efficient so that we can make entrepreneurs more successful in the future, so we can make Nashville more successful in the future. I think I'm going to take a breath, and I think I'm done. I'm not passionate about this. I want to underscore that as a mission recipient. And I will say the mayor's office and the Kauffman Foundation have really seen the vision of what we are trying to do for this city. And they are really excited about it. And they will be, and Bloomberg also, they will be the ones to tell you that nobody has figured this out. This is hard work, but this can be game-changing work. We really can become the #1 city in America to start a business. I will tell you, when we first started talking about that, I was like, can we really? It's the ability for us to partner within our city. It doesn't always work great. We're still big and all that kind of stuff, but our ability to partner within our city, we still have the opportunity to create accessibility. We partner with a lot of the organizations I just mentioned in a really great way. We do not see each other as competition. We see each other as partners in trying to serve a common stakeholder.
So that's the one game changer in your mind to get us to #1 is collaboration?
Wow, you make that sounds so up here. I think, so here's the deal. So San Francisco, Boston, New York, the ship has absolutely sailed for there to be one front door that can give you access efficiently to the right resource. The ship has sailed. So you can walk into that city and you're gonna get passed around and you don't know where to go. And so we're not San Francisco, Boston, and New York. What we have working for us is we're coming out of being a smaller city. And we're growing, so we have a plethora of resources, but we are still not so far along that we can't actually get the ecosystem to work together. When we launched the navigation program, one of our first questions was, are the partners that we want to work with going to be open to it? And they were absolutely open to it because they felt the pain that we did. Having entrepreneurs walk through their doors that isn't a fit for their services, having no idea where to send them, so trying to serve them at 75% of their capacity, not an optimal experience for the entrepreneur, not an optimal experience, wow, I really took a lot of time, for the organization. And I think that high growth programming is going to continue to be a boon for every city. I think navigation and the ability to work as one ecosystem is a game changer for this city.
Really quickly, what's your annual operating budget?
Annual operating budget this year is 2.4 million, not dollars.
And y'all are just finishing the first year of the navigation program, right?
We're in our second year of execution, yes.
So I'm guessing you're tracking number of jobs, created, investment capital, all of that, in addition to the actual number of navigations that are completed, right?
We have mechanisms in place where we have tracked that for our core program participants that we will look to see how we can implement that. But right now we are tracking where they are going, what their experience is, what the feedback loop is, and then our partners are tracking that information for themselves. Long-term, we can aggregate it.
Great.
Do you have any numbers about the quality of the new jobs? Are they minimum wage jobs? Are they higher, paid jobs?
We don't have any actual data on that. That will be the straight answer. I would say that because the largest concentration of those jobs come from our high growth programming, they tend to be higher paying jobs, information worker jobs.
Yeah, and this isn't my area of expertise. Do you partner at all with, is it the business administration organization and with Metro? What is it called? Where you
Business
can learn
Assistance Office,
What is it? Business Assistance Office.
our Minority and Small Business Program.
Yes. Through navigation, through our inclusion initiatives and community initiatives, yes.
Okay.
We're good partners.
Okay.
Did it take too much time?
No, you're right on time.
Is that sufficient?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you,
guys.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you want
You were
someone
gonna live on YouTube forever. I just want you